Hi, if anyone's on, go ahead and comment above. Funny thing, as soon as I said to my kids, we're starting in actually we started, they came running upstairs for anything they could find that was in the kitchen. Did you start yet? Did you start yet? So Keith is trying to, oh, you see it? Yeah. Oh, neat.
Not
so exciting. All right. So anybody who happens to be joining in, oh, there's one watching. That's Keith. See Mary right on time. All right. Keith Miller joined. Nice hat on. All right. So anybody who happens to be joining in, oh, there's one watching. Oh, it's delayed. That's weird. So if you see any comments, let me know if I don't notice them. I'll try to acknowledge them. Here, let me pour yours. Can you put your wine over here? Wine, that one. Yeah. Okay. Oh, hey, Trace. How are you? Thanks for joining. Oh, now the dog's gonna bark.
Don't clap.
I wish I could hear you. I don't know how to do that. I wonder if no, you can't hear. Okay. Oh, there it is. Hi, Trace. I'm laughing because I've done these like for other friends, but I've never hosted, and it's the same thing. As soon as you come in, they say, "Oh, hi, Tracy." The dog's decided that he's going to join. Thanks. I showered. As soon as I started, the kids came, we said, once 7 o'clock hits, don't come up. The minute we started,
cool, they
came up.
I could put it on TV.
No, thanks. Keith is next to me. He wants to put it up on our big TV. All right. Now what? I'm wearing Nancy's necklace to represent. Well, it's hard because I want to, okay. So Mary says, what do we do? So I'm going to text her. I'm probably going to record this. So, okay. Oh, Mary's on. Good idea, Keith. I don't know what it was. I can't remember now. Oh, to put it up on the TV. Yeah. Great. Thanks, Trace.
You need to describe what you're describing to the people, not via text.
Yes, I know. Well, she couldn't get in. Mary wasn't sure where to go on. Oh, good. Hi, Greer. Okay, so I have to scroll. Oh, hi, Mar. Mar's on too.
7 people watching.
Yay.
More than CNN.
Sorry for the political commentary from the husband. All right. So I think that this is it. I think this is all who might join. Some other people Nancy might pop on, but I'm sure she'll text if she can't get on. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I know we're all going a little stir crazy. This is kind of a neat, different way to drink together and enjoy wine in the evening. I was telling Tracy at the beginning how as soon as I got on, my kids came upstairs. Like as soon as I said, don't come upstairs, they all were upstairs. So they are not any longer. So that's good. All right. So I'm going to just go ahead and jump in so I don't keep you forever. And tonight we're going to talk about Cabernet Sauvignon. So you all have a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon. It's fine if it's a blend because in California, in Bordeaux, the blends will have mostly cab, 75, 80%, depending on where it is, and then something blended into it. So I thought it would be cool. I can't get you all the same exact wine I'm drinking, so I thought it would be neat to try whatever we have that is predominantly cab, and we can talk about cab and what we taste there. Okay, so this, I'm tasting 2 actually tonight. One Columbia Valley Cabernet Sauvignon. It's very traditional for warm weather Cabernet Sauvignon. So Keith and I are tasting that. So go ahead and open yours. If you haven't opened it yet, do so. Mainly because Cabernet should be opened and aerated because it's very tannic and acidic. And so opening it to the air for at least a few minutes will make it much more palatable. If it's an older one, you definitely want to open it longer. And if it's if it's a Bordeaux, you definitely want to give it at least an hour. For me, with the North Star, because it is a Eastern Washington red, it's super jammy. It's not as acidic. And so it doesn't need as much aeration. So it's fine to open it and drink it. Okay. Glasses. You guys always ask me about the glasses, so I'm just going to show you. There are tons of red glasses. They're usually the bigger glasses. This one looks like a white, but it has a bigger circumference, diameter, something like that. The top has a bigger top. Thanks to the engineer.
Is that what you're describing?
Yes.
The top, the roundness of the top as opposed to this one?
Yes.
Yes.
Wider. It's wider.
It's a wider.
And this one, yep. And then this one, interestingly enough, on my research, this is one of my new ones, my European finds, and this one too, they just say great for everything. So I'm good with that. They're very pretty. So, all right. Any questions yet? When can we drink? All right, go ahead and pour yourself your wine if you haven't already. All right. And when you do wine tastings, you're not supposed to wear lipstick. That's just so you can see the wine. Okay. All right. So to prepare for anybody who joined us, nobody else joined us, but grab a bottle of wine, open it, pour yourself a glass. And if you have a cheese or two you wanted to try with it, like we know that Greer grabbed a cheese already, which was great, you can grab that too. Okay, we're going to do the swirl, sniff, and sip. Okay, so the swirl first, as you guys know, we look at it just to see what colors we see, and we try to look at the wine up against a white background. So I have a white thing here. We're looking at it. What are we looking for? We're looking for different colors. This one is a dark ruby. If you see any other colors, can you type them into the comments? Because wherever yours are from, they're going to have a different tinge to them.
Thank you.
What?
I hadn't seen the comments.
Anyone? Colors? Red. Looks grape-like. Okay. No colors. No one giving colors. So that's okay. They're all, oh, wait. Oh, here they come. Oh, I just got a whole bunch of comments. Greer, are you on? You hear me now. Okay.
So there's about a 10-second delay.
Oh, Gail's here. Okay. All right. I'm just ready. Rickshaw, Duckhorn. Very nice. Oh, dark ruby. I see it. Okay. Perfect. And Keith's is dark ruby too. Mara, I've never had the rickshaw, so I don't know what color. Greer, yeah, yours would be ruby, definitely. Okay, so ruby is always the safest one. Oh, black cherry. Okay, yep, that can be a color descriptor. And some people say purple. It's not really purple unless it is really purple, which is usually, gosh, maybe a Shiraz, maybe, but typically not purple. Okay. Mary. Sorry, Mary's sitting in the dark. She can't see hers.
Hers is black.
Yes, hers is black. And Marla's has a tinge of pink. Mar, is it definitely a Cabernet Sauvignon? No, just kidding. Yeah, it does have pink at the ridge. I can definitely see that. What professional winemakers don't, hi Nance, don't typically call out the pink, but it's definitely there, so that's a really good call.
Why not?
Why don't they? It's just it's not a professional winemaker color that you would go for, unless it were a rosé. Good question, Keith. All right, Nance, grab your wine, grab your bottle, and we're just checking out the color. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and sniff the wine, and so when you swirl it, you can hold it in your hand. I like to put it on the table so I don't spill. But that's also why you don't pour as much. But you know what? With all of us stuck at home, I think you should pour as much as you possibly can or want. So So you can go ahead and swirl, and you're aerating. Those of you who opened it early, no need to swirl too much. Those of you who opened and poured like I did, give it a little bit of additional swirl because you're aerating while you swirl. Okay, and now we're gonna smell. Okay, what do you smell? Boone's Farm. Nance, absolutely, you might smell Boone's Farm. Gail grew up right near there, right, Gail?
Blackberries?
Mary says, do you really think we haven't already drank it? It's weird, the comments are delayed, so I can't, like, I have to keep scrolling up. It's kind of weird. But all right, anybody smell anything aside from Boone's Farm? And cheddar cheese? All right, I'm gonna tell you what oh, pepper, good, thank you, Mary. Vanilla Mar, that's right, yep. Blackberries, good, Keith. And Gruyere, cherry, yes, that's all in there. A Cabernet Sauvignon will have all of those components. It would be a black cherry, not a red cherry, just because a Cabernet is usually black fruit. And it should be oaked. Cabernet Sauvignon should be oaked because it has such tannins and acids that it needs to be softened. And then the pepper, yeah, depending on which one you are drinking, it can have black pepper. It also could have green pepper if it's not as depending on where it's grown. Okay, and then earth, right, Trace? There's often earth in a Cabernet. Okay, so and there's also spices, baking spices that would go along with the vanilla, and that comes from the oak. Okay, all right, let's oh, I'm laughing at Greer's comment. I'm getting your card game. I have mine inside right here. That's kind of my next, but great idea. All right, so let's do a taste and see what we get. So just to remind you how you taste, just a little bit on your palate and swallow that, move it around, then do a second taste, and that's because your taste buds get overwhelmed on first taste. So you always want to follow with a second. And if you've been eating things, and Matt, you're right, there's cherry. What are you looking for?
I'm thinking of propping your notes behind here so you don't.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. Thank you. Okay, so I moved around my mouth. You're trying to get it all throughout your mouth. You don't have to do like in the movies when they do those big obnoxious slurping or you don't have to do that. You're just trying to fully absorb it because wine tasting is very different than wine drinking. And wine drinking, it doesn't matter what you're tasting as much. I mean, it's really the first kind of taste that you taste. For wine tasting, you're using more of your brain. So you're trying to think about what you're experiencing. So right now we're all experiencing something new. Oh, Marla's on her fourth taste. That's totally fine. So what do we taste? What do you think you guys taste? Mary's going for another bottle. Okay. Cabernet Sauvignon, I want you to try and think about, and this is always the hard thing, it's just putting the words on what you're tasting. So I'm just grabbing out some of my cards. So you may be tasting blueberry. And those of you who have the game, you could always flip through like Greer's doing and see if you can find any. Sorry. Oak, yep, definitely oak. Yep, and oak tastes like things. Oak tastes like cedar. It depends on how they toast up the barrel, the wood on the barrel, how they toast it, where they get it from. When we were in France, they definitely, hi Lisa, welcome, grab your wine, we're just tasting. So in France, they have like 8 different coopers, and there's a sort of level of establishment of one being better than the other by the coopers that work with them and the number of coopers they work with. And I asked that at a wine tasting in Oregon this week, and the woman was shocked, and then she was like, she was so excited to tell me about the number of coopers, because that was an esteem from from her. Okay, so Greer said oak comes from oak barrels or staves. Oh, staves? Do you mean staves, Greer? So there are oak staves that sometimes they will put into the wine to bring out the oak flavor without aging it in oak. And that is definitely true for Merlot and Malbec, but for Cabernet Sauvignon, they still might do that if they need more oak on it, but 99% of the time they're putting into oak barrels because it is so tannic and acidic. Okay, so let's try it again for those of you who have any left. Okay, so here are some typical flavors, and this is what I'm getting, okay? Raspberry, dark berry, dark blackberry, black cherry, black currant is in mine. Oh, Chris is just copying my cards. And Marla's having guacamole. Awesome, awesome. So black currant, cedar, baking spices, and sometimes there's graphite. And Marla actually brings up a great point. If you're still tasting what you had a little while ago, it depends. If it coats your tongue, you're not going to taste in the same way. So how do you know? So does it really matter what the words are that you're tasting right now? The only thing that it matters is if you can identify them. Then number one, in a wine tasting, when you're doing it, that's helpful. But also when you try to pair foods with it, right? That's really important to understand the taste qualities when you're pairing fruit. So what Marla's saying basically is if she had guacamole, it's not pairing well with the cab because it's sitting apart from the cab. If it's a good pairing, it would taste well together. If you drink wine and it just tastes like alcohol after whatever you ate, then you definitely are not, it's not a good pairing. It's not the right pairing. Tracy, you got black cherry, black pepper, and dark berry. Yes to all of the above. To all of the above. Okay. Now, couple facts while you're sipping and thinking about what you're drinking. Anybody know what degrees you serve it as?
Room temperature.
Room temperature, what's that? Okay, there's no lemon or citrus in it, Matt, I'm sorry. But Tracy was right, black cherry, black pepper, dark berry. The comments are pretty delayed, so I'll tell you. So you drink it, you serve it at 60 to 68 degrees, and if it's too cold, like some of you may have pulled it out of the wine fridge, that's when you hold it like this. You hold it underneath, okay, to warm it up. Oh, yeah. Room temp, that's right, Lise, depending on what your room temperature is. Mark, can you clear your palate? Yeah, you can. I would eat either bread or crackers to clear your palate. 56 is too cold, Greer. Definitely warm it up in your hands if it's 56, okay? So 60, good answers, 60 to 68 degrees, which is room temperature in the Gilbert house. Nice, nice. 68.54, Keith, yes. Okay, alcohol percentage in this one?
15.
He did, Greer, he definitely cheated. Alcohol percentage in this one, is it 15, Keith? I didn't look. Keith is guessing 15 in this one. Tell us about yours. You guys
15.
check, ABV, what's your alcohol percentage? 15 on ours, woo. Evil carbs. All right, alcohol percentage. I'll wait for that to come in because the comments come so slow. I will tell you this: if you get your alcohol, if you get your Cabernet in France, in Bordeaux, it's going to be 13.5, in the 13s. Okay, they keep their alcohol percentage low. You do taste that, by the way. You can taste the alcohol percentage. If you go New World like I did, hot area, Eastern Washington, which is like a desert, then you are 14 to 15. Greer, yours, you had a duck horn, right? It has to say it. No, it can't be 9%. It's got to be 13 to 15. Yes, Lisa, different glasses, a big glass, certain glasses, a bigger glass. Mary, 14.5. Okay. All right. So again, newer world will always have a bigger alcohol. Most cabs that I've seen, 14 to 15%. Napa Cab is going to be 14 or 14.5. Bordeaux will be 13.5. Marla, is yours a Bordeaux? That's interesting. And Lisa, yours is 13.9.
I don't see it on this one.
Really? Okay, so mine says it on the North Star, but does it on the minor? That's weird. It has to.
This one's too.
All right. Well, it's not on here. If you look it up, it would be for sure. I'm kind of surprised. Paso Robles, okay, which must be made in more of a Bordeaux style cab. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that is the alcohol. So now let's talk about where is Cabernet made and why are we seeing different percentages? I touched on it a little bit. All right, I'm going to show you my little graphic, but if I show it to you, I can't read it. Okay. So, oh, I see. I can see on Keith's I'm delayed.
Yes.
I see. Okay. So, can you guys, I'm hoping you can see it. Can you read it, Keith, from there? No, on your screen?
You got it tilted back.
I know, but then I can't read it. Okay, this is challenging. Where's tech support?
You can print too.
So France makes the most cab, then Chile, then the United States, then Australia, then Spain, and so on. Okay, I'll give you a second to capture that. Okay. So when we take a look at the different places that they're made, so they taste differently depending on where they are made. So Cabernet itself, when it's made in Bordeaux, it's more acidic, it's more tannic, and it has more pepper, green pepper. It has more graphite, some dark chocolate, bell pepper. Okay, and here's why. In Bordeaux, where it originated, the soil is really gravelly. It originated in, sorry, I'm distracted by the comments. Lisa said, put it in the wine for microwave. Do not microwave wine. Do not, it's blasphemy. It will, because you're dealing with a live organism, it's going to kill some of it. So don't do that. Okay, so yeah, use your hand and swirl, as Keith said. Use your hands. All right, so in Bordeaux, when it's in gravel allows the rain to dissipate quickly through the soil. You don't want your soil to be too fertile, because you want your wine grapes to really struggle so that they pull out the qualities in the gravel or in the soil. Okay, so as they grow their grapes down, they're pulling out from where the vines are, and so you don't want the soil to be too fertile. So you also want to have good drainage, because you don't want them to get too much water either. Okay, so in Bordeaux, their soil was very, very gravelly, and that was ideal for Cabernet Sauvignon. So Bordeaux, because of the soil there's limestone and gravel and quick drainage. That's where you get more of the graphite taste, which is like pencil, peppercorn, bell pepper, and then you might even get blackcurrant, tobacco leaf, pencil lead, as we said. Okay, so and it also depends on the year and the rainfall. Okay, hi Tammy. So welcome, grab a glass of cab and join us. We're just doing a tasting, and we're giving it a virtual try. So I'm glad that you joined us. So we've all tried our different cabs and given some of the things that we have tasted. And we're talking about how wines taste, or how the varietal Cabernet Sauvignon tastes different in Bordeaux as in other places. So Bordeaux, as you know, is old world. And when you hear old world, that means more tannin, and it means more acid, okay, which makes it a better food wine. So that's Bordeaux, Cab and Bordeaux. Now, if you go to Napa Cab and Sonoma Cab, it's more blackberry, but it has a little bit of pencil lead. It can have tobacco. It can have mint, depending on the climate there, okay? South Australia in the Yarra Valley, it was really peppery. It was really peppery. So it's still that overall black fruit, just with a lot of pepper. And then in Chile, Chile is really, really high elevation. So you have the ocean, and then you have the Andes mountain range. And so they make unbelievable Cabernet Sauvignon, but it's blackberry, black cherry, fig paste, baking spices, green peppercorn. Okay, so what is taken, Tanya? Tannin, Greer. And you know what tannin is. You feel it all over your mouth. It almost pulls in or shrinks. It feels like it's shrinking or tightening in your mouth. That's tannin. And with the right foods, the response, or you have a better response to the food. Okay, so Marla's getting cedar, vanilla, and berry. And Marla, you said yours was California, but you said it was Paso Robles. And so it depends, again, where. Paso Robles is mid-coast, so it's hotter. So the hotter that the weather is, then for Cabernet Sauvignon, the jammier the fruit is going to be, and less acidic and less tannic. Okay, so again, from my Eastern Washington one, it's very, very berry with just a little bit of acid and a little bit of tannin. Okay, so those are great questions. One other thing I wanted to add is Cabernet. So Cabernet is it's a warm weather grape, and the reason is because the skins are so thick, and they bud and they grow. They need a longer growing season. So somewhere like Napa or Bordeaux is perfect because during the day it's hot, it's very hot. But at night the fog comes in Napa, and the higher elevations in Napa also keep it cooler. And so the higher elevations in Napa keep it cooler, and in Bordeaux they have the maritime breezes from the ocean and from the Gironde estuary, so that keeps it cool. So what growers try to do is they try to prolong make the grapes struggle, make them take a long time to grow, and then they typically pick them like September, the fall. What were you going to say, Keith?
I was going to say ours is from Columbia Valley, and I was going to ask where that was, but I remember where that was.
Keith has been there. Mara, I don't know where Middletown, California is. So it's probably Central Coast, which is all just hot. So you can grow cab most places. Oh, yeah. Nice. Beautiful. Oh, good. I'm glad. Thank you, Greer. That's awesome. All right. So I'm just going to grab, let's see, a couple cards. No, I'm not. The next thing I was going to do is, as you're tasting and trying to figure out, so what I would like you to do is if you can comment on where yours is from, so Paso Robles, California, Central Coast, California, Bordeaux, Napa, whatever it is, and if you have the vineyard, say the vineyard, and then some of the characteristics that are standing out for you. I think it would be really cool to see the different people that, thanks guys for your positive, for your votes of confidence and love, but try some what you have and see if you can pull out some of the characteristics of your particular cab. So we all know that you're going to taste black fruit. You might have cedar. You're going to have something from the oak. See if you can detect anything else, the vanilla, something else, and put where it's from. Yep. Okay, so like Tracy put Stag's Leap, Napa. Is there anything else, Trace, that you pull out of there besides the berries and the vanilla? Oh, hi, Jess. Welcome. We're live tasting Cabernet Sauvignon. So if you want to grab a glass and join us, we've gone through it's kind of a test. We've gone through the taste qualities of the cab, and we're going to get into where people are and why it tastes differently, and then a little bit of what food goes with it. Okay, so Mary's is from Manteca, Cal. I'm guessing that also is Central Coast. Tammy's is from Napa, Fairfield, California. Okay. From Napa. Dow, yeah, Paso Robles. All right, good. Mary, you gonna have any left for your pasta and red sauce? Jammy, yep. Yeah, the Camus will start off jammy. Oh. Jesse, you can just watch and pretend. All right, Trace, let me go back and see what you have there. So you have the Stag's Leap, pepper, tannins, tobacco, or leather. Good. Tammy, yep, the pepper. Okay. Dry, medium bodied, not heavy. Yep. Is it a mistake not to eat? Well, we are going to eat. What do you mean not to eat? You can definitely, I don't know how to answer that, Lise. Okay. So I just wanted you guys to see some of the different characteristics depending on where you are trying your wine from. So can I have the minor? Okay. So those of you who know how to use a Coravin, I'm going to just, since we already opened a bottle, Keith and I probably won't finish two. Here's a glass. So I'm going to show you how the Coravin works. Needs to be. Shouldn't be pouring out like that.
Is it all the way on?
I'm not sure. Okay. All right. So this is the minor cab. So this is another Napa cab. The sticker's still on the glass. I'll just pretend it isn't. All right. Okay, there's a huge, huge difference between these two. And if you guys happen to have the Coravin or a second bottle of wine open, because you know with the quarantines that we're probably going to drink it, it will last for, yeah, it'll last for a couple of weeks for sure. Okay, Jason's not getting the pepper. So for okay, so I'll do these and I'll address the pepper, okay? So this is the North Star Central Cab. It's, as I said before, big berries, big jammy taste, and that's because it's in a really hot climate and actually has a lot of water in that area. This one is from Minor, and it's Napa, and it's an Oakville cab. And so the difference is huge. So this one's really basic. It's got really basic taste qualities. It's just a nice drinking wine. We're going to call it, the new term is porch sipper, or a cocktail wine. Really nice cocktail wine. This one has so many different tastes to it. Okay, so when I taste it, so I first taste the berry, but then I get the tobacco. I get the cedar on top of that, the vanilla. And as I keep tasting it, so the green pepper, Jason, that's on my tongue. Like I feel it here, and here it's kind of a, how do I describe it? A higher level taste. Like if you think of a raw, fresh green pepper and where it hits your palate, it's like that. Thanks, Greer. New glass. Oh, isn't that interesting? Marla ate a plain tortilla and got all cherry. So because she's drinking because she's drinking a Central Coast, again, more basic flavors in it. And so the cherry, it's not going to carry food as well, but certainly it's going to bring out that black cherry. Yeah. Okay. I would go ahead and open it then. Okay. Our Coravin isn't working, so Keith can't pour himself a glass. So here.
I don't want to break.
I just didn't bring it. Yeah, and I didn't open that. Okay. Every evening. Yes, we can do this every evening at 7. Oh, good. Okay, Lisa's going to open 2. Okay. Oh, 19 crimes. Yes, actually. Okay, I can share this because you guys can't talk. You're commenting, and I'm doing all the talking. At the wine conference I went to last week, the guy who did the Australian Cab campaign was there. And so they were talking about how they grew it just because the bottle could talk. So they've been talking about immersive wine experiences. So this is a great example of us doing this together. I wish I could see you all to do it together too. That might be something that I would try. But yes, that's what made 19 Crimes such a great, such a big brand in the US, was the immersive wine experience of being able to have the bottle talk to you. So interesting. Okay, so excuse me. Next, we're gonna play What Do I Have in My Cabinet that pairs well with this wine. So go ahead and take a couple, just a minute, 30 to 60 seconds, and grab something in your fridge that you want to try with the wine. And then comment to us what matches or doesn't match, as people have been doing, okay? So Keith and I, we grabbed some sort of dry salami and the only cheese that wasn't shredded cheese, which was the mozzarella, fresh mozzarella. Oops. All right, Keith is having trouble because I open all the wine. He's having trouble with the restaurant wine opener. For those of you who don't know how to use one, so you screw it in, and then you always want the double hinge, not the single, okay? Because if you have the single, you can get stuck, but the double you can always maneuver. All right. Go-to meeting. Yeah, we could try a go-to meeting or Zoom. That would be interesting. Oh, Christine's here. I am wearing pants, Marla. Yes. Greer, tell us about the beef that you had with your wine. What was it with? What sauce? Oh, Mary, enjoy your dinner. Thanks for joining us. Greer, what was your beef in? Did it have a sauce with it? This gave me a reason to get dressed today, I have to say, with all the quarantine. If we do it every night at 7, it will be a reason to get dressed each day. Okay, so I tried the North Coast wine, and because it's so jammy, it's definitely turning my teeth red, by the way, all right? Oh, sorry, Greer, didn't mean to put you on to put you on the spot, but all right, so I'm trying mozzarella with the North Coast first. It's okay. Just it's really just cherry and cream. It's very, very vanilla. It cuts out all the tannin and acid. It's really not a good dinner wine. Okay. Now we're going to try the Napa Cab. Totally different experience. I'm biased because I love this, but there's just more to it. And so the mozzarella, what the mozzarella does, some of you may remember, is it coats your palate because it's so creamy. And so now you're getting more of the essence of the wine without the tannin. And that's really why food and wine pair together. It's made to be an aha moment. It's supposed to make the food that you're eating and the wine that you're drinking better together. Now, is it the perfect pairing? No, because the minor wine on its own is really complex, and with the right food, it would be great. The mozzarella is fine with it because it doesn't make it taste badly, but it doesn't make it taste badly, but it's not like like amazing together. Question: why is 19 Crimes way more dry? Is your other one's a Napa Valley, right, Tam? I think the Napa one, let me go back. Australian Cab. I'm going back, Tim, to see where yours is. I wonder if, it's Fairfield County. I don't know Fairfield County. It may be a less expensive Napa wine. If Napa wine, if it's grown on the valley floor, and this is true of a lot of places, depending on where the valley floor is, it could end up being not as high quality, or it could be that just that year it rained so much that the wine is jammier. The 19 Crimes from Australia, yeah, it's hard to say. It depends on the year. And I'm just trying to think, for Australian Cab, thinking about it, and I'm trying to remember the soil. I know there's eucalyptus in their soil. That's kind of a different piece to it, but it could be, depending on where, I can't remember if it says where in Australia, but if it's a really, really dry area, if it's a really, really dry area, then it will be, well, dry and with a maritime breeze for cool, it could end up being drier. I hope that answers your question. I stumbled on it because there's a lot that goes into it because I'm not drinking the 19 Crimes right now and I don't have up where it's from. I can't tell you, but it would have to do with the weather and the soil, not the grape varietal. Okay. All right. So anybody else have something? Greer, did you figure out what sauce you have that goes with your wine? We're still holding.
Can you tell who's watching?
No.
There's 18 people.
Okay. All right. So here's what we tasted. We tasted raspberry. Some of us tasted black tea. If you tasted it and it was from Bordeaux or possibly from Napa, you may have gotten black tea. I did not taste farmyard. However, you could taste that in the wine. You really could. And it would be depending on where it was grown and how earthy it was. So Tracy brought up earth before. Oh, Greer said mustard crust. That's interesting. Jess Weller said hi. Hi, Jess. Okay. Some people find violet in their cabs. Some will find smoke. The smoke would come from the oak. Okay, but that can bring chocolate, coffee, and other flavors. Oh, interesting. Greer cooked her beef with the cab, with the beef stock and cab. Farmyard, Lisa, it's a smell that you'll get with some higher level wines. And I don't get it here. So sometimes you get a funk. Some people really like that funk, that funky smell. It could be earth, it could be whetstones. You'll know barnyard or farmyard because it's very, very strong. Usually I think of it with truffles, or I think of it more with farmyard more with like Italian wines. But that earthy farmyard smell and taste makes it amazing with game. Hi, Kendra. Yes, earth. So what is earth? What are farm animals? So all of that comes partially from the soil and what's in the soil. It comes from, let's see, depending on the grape varietal. So Cab, the skins are so tannic, and Pinot Noir, actually, you get a little bit more earth because they'll leave, in earthy Pinot Noir, they will leave the juice on the skins for longer. So earth it's a smell like potting soil. Like when you're potting, I'm looking for the card, but when you're potting a new plant, you will have earth. An earth smell to it. That's what the wine can smell like. And it's supposed to be there. It's not a fault. And it partially helps it go with, it brings it complexity. Here's one, that's forest floor. Okay, and that's that cedar and that earth and dry herbs. Often you can get that with Cab. So this is a great question. Yeah, the funk is the fish sauce of Thai cooking. Right. So this is the great question. It's essential when you're learning about wine tasting. It's not always hard. It's not always easy to describe. So there's flavors and tastes that come from the grape itself, from the varietal itself, and that changes depending on the soil it's grown in and the climate, the weather. So it depends where it is grown. That affects it. And then it's also affected by the winemaker and the things that the winemaker does to the wine. So when we are overall tasting together Cabernet Sauvignon, but we're tasting it from all over the world, unless we know exactly where it's from and who makes it and kind of what they put in it, it's hard to nail down. So that's part of the education that I kind of have gotten over the years, that you learn the regions. And the more that you taste with me, the more you'll learn the regions. I talked to a winemaker who visited Chile, and he tasted Cabernet Sauvignon that was grown on limestone, and right next to it, another row that was grown on soil. And it tasted very different, very different. So grown on limestone, it's going to have more of a salty quality. It's going to have more, you're drinking from the fossils there. I mean, you're really getting a complexity that you may or may not want, but wine drinkers like. And it's also hard to grow through limestone, and you're pulling out some of the salt from the limestone. When you're drinking it out of the soil, or when it's growing in the soil, it's pulling out different things. And so for Cab, what you see is that, oh, you guys are too funny. Greer had said, the more Cab is breathing, the better it is becoming. Yes, if it is a good wine, the more that it's open and exposed to the air, the better it gets. If it's a not so good wine, they may have kept it tight in the bottle. It could fall apart being in the air. I had a couple glasses I thought about selling at one point. I decided not to, but they aerate the wine themselves. So for the first 5-10 minutes, it was really good, and then it would kill the taste of the wine. Okay, and then oh, good, Christine was able to join us. Hi, Christine, welcome. The other, so you may say, okay, well, Elsa, what is a good wine? Well, a good wine is not dictated by price point. Okay, it's dictated by, number one, what you like, because a good wine to you is not necessarily a good wine to me. And then it's also dictated by the region where it's grown, the season, the year. Okay, so for example, Tamara was tasting an Australian Cab. Well, a big house like 19 Crimes, it's going to taste the same year after year. That's what a big house does. They try to match what they're making year after year. If you are a smaller house, it could vary each year and taste differently. And that's why we often, when you go to tasting rooms, you taste across the vintages, because you can taste the difference. And winemakers. Christine is enjoying the more wine that she drinks, the better it is, along with Marla. So a perfect example, we went to a tasting room in Oregon this weekend. And it was called Archery Summit, unbelievable wines in a cave. And they used what I had never heard of. It's called gravity flow. So they pick the grapes and then they crush them above, and they let gravity carry everything to the next step. And so we tasted the old winemaker, because I think he did 2016, 2017. And then we tasted the new winemaker. And I liked the old winemaker's whites better, but the new winemaker's reds better. So I'm excited to share those with you. Those were fantastic. So Greer asks a great question. What region would you say the best Cabernet comes from? Okay. As a wine professional, I would tell you Bordeaux, and that's only because it is the epicenter of Bordeaux and of Cabernet Sauvignon. So the left bank of Bordeaux is known for its Cabernet Sauvignon, and it was developed or discovered 600 years ago. And so 600 years ago, someone, they think by accident, crossed Sauvignon Blanc and Cabernet Franc. And the baby was Cabernet Sauvignon.
A Blanc and a Franc?
Yes, Blanc and a Franc. Yes. So, and so that made Cabernet Sauvignon. And so they have been making it for so long, but all of their wines are blends, right? So if you have a Bordeaux from the left bank of Bordeaux, it is predominantly Cab, and they are the best food wines overall. The French would say, and classic wine drinkers would say the best. However, we beat them. Yay, California beat them with our Cabernet Sauvignon in 1970. And since then, there's been a rivalry. So
you can watch the movie on Netflix.
And you can watch the movie on Netflix. Definitely, Italy does not make the best Cabernet Sauvignon. They are making incredible Super Tuscans. Okay. So, oh, hey, Liz. So Liz, open up a Cab. We're just tasting Cab and chatting about Cab. So Greer has asked where the best wine region for Cabernet Sauvignon. So first we said Bordeaux because it's directly from there, but then we also said the California cabs are outstanding. I have to tell you, hey Mike,
we need to know what they're drinking.
Yeah, please join us and tell us what you're drinking. So Greer is drunk as she welcomed Mook. So we're all quarantined. We're not drinking, and I know you're all over 21. So anyway, so this I would say Napa cabs are outstanding, but Napa is price gouging a little, and so there are other places that are making really, really, really good Cabernet Sauvignon. And again, it depends what you like. If you just like a jammy Cabernet Sauvignon, a $15 Central Coast cab does it for you. The 19 Crimes, I think it's $15, $20. That could be fine. But otherwise, yes, Bordeaux or Cab or Chile. If you can get a Chilean Cabernet, you ought to try it because the temperature variances where they are along with the soil and the elevation, it's just, they make outstanding wines. I will tell you this, when I went to the New Hampshire liquor store, they had very few Chilean Cabernets. So a lot of people are making them. Does it mean you're a more complex person if you like Cabernets over Chiantis? No, absolutely not. So what it means is that you probably you like a bigger mouthfeel on your drink. You like to have a fuller bodied drink. Chiantis are earthier. Chiantis are made of the Sangiovese grape, and that takes me back to the Cabernet that's being grown in Italy. There is quite a bit of Cabernet being grown in Italy, but it's all blended with Sangiovese and some other things. So I love Super Tuscans. If you think you like Chianti even a little and you like Cab, you would love Super Tuscans, and they're pricey, but they're totally worth it. They're fantastic. Mike, let us know what kind of beer you're drinking. And Greer, yes, Chile, yes. And I might have said Argentina. On the other side of the mountains, Argentina is making Cab. And so, you're okay. Going to Tamara's comment, Kith and Kin is fantastic. It's very, very good. And I believe that's a Napa Cab. Any specific Chilean cabs? No, I don't know any. I have not had many because they're very, very pricey. And I just haven't. I've had Argentinian cabs for some reason. I've had Chilean cabs, but only one or two. Chilean cabs are very expensive, Marla. Yes. Tracy, we're all coming over. So Tracy opened up the $90 bottle. So Tracy, so here's the story. And let me just see what time it is, because we're definitely going to end in 8 minutes. We'll definitely end at 8. And we can definitely do this tomorrow night or another night, pick a varietal. And actually, I'd have to figure out how, but there's a way to do a survey. Hi, Rory. So here's the story with the $90 bottles, okay? I buy good wine because I enjoy it. Keith doesn't often drink wine with me, though I love when you drink wine with me, Keith. He admittedly says he doesn't enjoy it as much. And so when we buy expensive wine, oftentimes I bring it back to share with my friends. It's so much more fun. And so this was kind of cool because I get to share this with you. We're drinking probably, I don't know, maybe an $80 bottle and a $40 bottle. And I know that's expensive and first world problems, right? We're, opening it up and, but I'm getting to share it with all of you, which is really cool. Plus the fact we probably won't finish at least the North Star, so we'll probably drink it tomorrow night. And if you want to preserve it, put it in the fridge. It's a wine, it's a live organism. So just like other things that you put in the fridge to preserve them, you can leave it out and it'll be fine, but it'll stay longer and better with refrigeration. Okay. And then Liz says Chenin Blanc. We can definitely do a Chenin Blanc tasting. I'm not sure if I have any. And thank you, Tammy. I'm glad that this was really cool. What other questions do you guys have? Oh, one of the reasons that Napa is so great is because they have volcanic soils. And so that adds, because they can't get the complexity of Bordeaux wines, they the volcanic soil gives it an earthy, dusty taste. So that adds minerality and earthiness and dustiness. And that's what makes Napa even better. And I will say the dark color comes from the dark skins. Okay. What other questions? Let's see, I'm just paging up. Nice. Oh, welcome, Jackie. We're just finishing up, but you can join us either tomorrow night or the following night. I will post when we do it. Oh, Jackie. Oh, it's Jackie. All right. So if there are any other questions, let me know. Well, we have about 5 more minutes. I'm here for you. The other thing is, so I have my card game. Let's use 5 minutes to plug my card game.
Oh, she's been watching other podcasts.
So you're stuck inside, you're quarantined, and you want to have some wine at the end of the day, and Allison is not doing a podcast, okay? So I'm going to take out my handy dandy card game, okay? That's my forest floor game, and many of you have this game. Mm-hmm. And so what we do is we can play solitaire really easily. Okay. Lisa, $10 is fine. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I have my card game here. Let's see. Okay. And I'm going to taste my wine. Now I'm going to start to flip. Pants, Marla. I'm wearing pants. All right, wait, maybe I'll do it on my computer.
Oh, she is wearing pants.
I don't think I can show it. Okay. So I'm flipping. And I'm deciding whether or not these match what I'm drinking. So lime, nope. Yeast, no. No, I'm not getting yeast. Grapefruit, no. Hey, these are all white ones. Blueberry, yeah, I could taste blueberry if I really think about it. I could get some blueberry from that. Okay, and you go through. Thanks, Liz. And then peach, nope. Okay, and as you flip, you just kind of grab a stack, and as you flip, you decide, do these go with the wine you're tasting? This is my solitaire. Chocolate, yes, definitely. And then at the end, you have a bunch of cards with the taste qualities. And then you can look up your wine or look on the back and see if your taste qualities if they match. And you get points for whichever match, okay? The other way you can play it is if you have a partner that is drinking wine as well. Okay, so you have a partner, hi Danielle, who is drinking wine as well, and you can play war, okay? So Keith and I, let's pretend we're playing war against each other. We both take a little stack of cards, and we say go, and we flip over the card. Yes, lime again, because I just grabbed the ones on top. And we set them down, and we read them, and then we go for the ones that we think match the wine we're drinking. So lime, doesn't match. Okay, then we'd say go, and flip again. Doesn't match. Here we use different parts. Okay, and then we might go again and say game. Does it match? Yes, and then we would grab for the ones that match. Okay, I might have to do a video on that. That was not a great demonstration, but definitely chocolate, Tam. Yep. Matt has grapefruit in his IPA. Nice, Matt. Okay, so if we haven't accomplished anything else tonight aside from assembling and sharing wine together, which was really cool because we're quarantined and we're respecting everyone's wishes, but we're also socializing. And thanks, Tammy. She likes my manicure. But we're also, enjoying ourselves and learning a little. And again, drinking wine is fine. And tasting wine is just engaging more. It's engaging more of your brain while you disengage towards the end. Okay. So Cab, they say, is king. Anything you want to know, send me a comment or an inbox me, whatever, and I'm happy to answer for you. And if you do have, oh, hi, Gina. And don't stop. Liz says don't stop. Oh, hi, Erica. Welcome. So, Erica Feo, that's Aaliyah's Girl Scout leader. So if you folks would like, let me know and we can tomorrow night at 7 or 7:30 do this again, and we'll have to pick. Liz, I can't do the Chenin Blanc because I don't think I have any. I think that's a hard one. Does anybody have any other varietals they would like to do tomorrow night? If you do, send me a message. All right. Thank you all very much. And we will connect. You know, why don't we say tomorrow at 7? We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We'll see you tomorrow at 7. I'll let you know what varietal once I hear from people, because I don't know how to send out the surveys. All right. Bye.